Hello and welcome to Tim Brook Honda of Cumberland. I have a really cool bike. This is a 2010 BMW S1000RR. Really set up nice, really cool bike. Just drove it for about 15 miles and I think I'm going to put about 20 more on it. This thing is a rocket. It is an awesome machine. Handling is incredible. The torque is unbelievable and it is a comfortable bike. Really cool machine. Let me show you everything I could find on it. It is, I know of two owners. The last owner was just released from the military, just came back in the US. It has 7,160 miles on it. When he purchased it, it had 3,400 miles on it. So he's put about 3,600 miles on it himself. He purchased it from a BMW dealership, and the first owner was the technician from the BMW dealership. The technician from the BMW dealership did some mods to it, and the mods are the pegs on the back. He calls it a GT setup. I am not familiar with that. All I can tell you is I do have the factory pegs that go with it to set it back to the original pegs, because right now at the GT mod on it means that the gear shift is opposite. So instead of one down and the rest up, it is one up and the rest all down. So it's opposite. Now I've driven it for about 15 miles and it really only took me a couple miles to get used to it. So not a big deal. I would probably leave it that way. There's some type of reasoning for that, I guess, for the GT mod. And again, not familiar with it. It's got the Akrapovic, however you pronounce that, pipe on it, and it's got frame sliders, and he said it has the quick shift or the quick clutch. From what he's saying, you don't need to use the clutch once it's running or driving at a certain RPM. I haven't tried that out. I've just been shifting normal with the clutch. Now I will tell you that he has dropped the bike. He said it was in a parking lot. He was going around an island and there were several people there, and he put it down. He said, but very little damage. He was more emotionally scarred and embarrassed than anything else. Anyway, here's what I can see from dropping it. There is the frame sliders, did their work, did their job. So you can see the scratch on there. I can see a very, very faint scratch on that corner right there. And then the bottom of the pegs, the aftermarket pegs, you can see the grind mark on the bottom. Now that can be ground off, touched up a little paint, and the cap put on, and you really would not notice that. And then he said this did not come from dropping it, that he knows of, that it was already there, but the mark on the slip-on plate. I would say that that came from dropping it, but I wasn't there, so I couldn't tell you. No other damage anywhere else, as you can see. Really nice shape. Didn't even hit the handlebars or anything. Brembo brakes. Tank is all good. Really cool machine. The tire on the back is questionable. Most likely I am going to replace that tire. However, make sure you ask me first to see if that actually was done or not. When I list these up for auction, if I drop the reserve quite a bit on them, sometimes I put the tire on it, sometimes I won't. I plan on putting the rear tire on it, and I will also take those stickers off of there and clean that off. This really has not even been detailed yet. This is pretty much how it came in. As you can see, frame sliders on this side, nothing's touched. No marks on this side. Really, all that to get rid of any of the damage would be replace that right side frame slider and clean up that peg, and then just live with that mark on the exhaust. Cool machine, awesome running. I really enjoyed the ride. I'm probably going to put a few more miles on it. Bike sounds awesome. Probably can't hear me when I talk when it's on, but it sounds great, runs good. If you have any questions on this bike, you may know more about the setup on this bike than I do. I'm not sure if this Woodcraft is a factory thing or if that's part of the mods. It matches the frame slider, and the pegs are Motorsports CFM, and there's the Akrapovic exhaust. Very nice bike, really cool. I love that graphite gray with the flat black and the gloss gray on the side. Really cool machine. If you have any questions at all, give us a call. You can stop in and take it for a test drive too.